Just started the meeting, so I'll just wait 1 second for people to join. Welcome to May Day. Happy Friday here, May Day. There's obviously a number of things to talk about tonight. We had a really great evening last night with we were in the middle of the Journey of Mastery number 9 last night. Currently. And so therefore, this is the 9th group of leadership graduates that have been through the Journey of Mastery. And, with the upset in the world and not able to hold all of the programs, we had a virtual meeting last night, and we invited all 9 groups of Mastery folks, whoever wanted to or was able to join us in an evening conversation around what's going on and living in abundance at the moment and all those sorts of conversations. So that was fantastic. Hi, everybody. I see you. Happy Friday. I see you joining. Thanks for coming on tonight. I have a special guest tonight, which I'll introduce in a little bit. And let me I just also want everybody to know it's not alarming, but Fran went to the hospital today. She has a bacterial infection. And so it's not serious, but obviously in the climate of the moment, we wanted to make sure that she's well and taken care of. So she's going to be in the hospital for like a night or two. That's all. And, antibiotics, that sort of thing. But I wanted to mention it, not to alarm anybody, and she'd probably hate me for even saying so, but I thought it would be really wonderful if those of you that know and love Fran would just send her an email. Okay, not a text, because that would be, distracting for her while she's dealing, but an email just, of love and well wishes. So we can overwhelm her with a little bit of love while she's dealing with this, moment. So, all right, I want to get started talking tonight about a couple of things. And I want to begin in the 30 seconds of background, if I could. One of the things that's happened, as you know, or I don't know if you know, but I shared it on Facebook yesterday. The Synergy office got broken into yesterday, or we discovered it yesterday. And, in the absence, it's kind of like a ghost town in that area. It's not very residentially. So, and there was another office on our floor that also had been broken into. They used a crowbar to get in, and they stole laptops and that sort of thing. Thankfully, nobody was there, of course. But it made me, and there's whatever that experience creates. But mostly, I feel, I'm not sure if bad is the right word, but it occurred to me, people, the longer this goes, the more desperate it can become for people. So, in my mind, whether I'm right or not, who knows? But I just imagine somebody who would do that, not always, but in this case might be somebody who's desperate. So I don't even feel any way about it. But I did want to just bring it up because in this climate, when, nerves are becoming frayed and there's a fight between opening and not opening, and you see that happening around the country, I just really want to state the obvious, which is for all of us to take care of each other, in a community such as ours. Where really the foundation of our connection is from a place of love and partnership and sharing and contribution and authenticity and all those wonderful things, just to be really mindful and extend ourselves even more maybe than we normally would, just to be taking care of each other during this time and be, just be careful, I guess. Okay. Not to be weird or freaky, but just there are some things happening. So I just wanted to let everybody know about that. And, we're all perfectly fine. In fact, we're all blaming Monica, okay? Because Monica hated the laptops. So we've all decided this is her energetic way of getting new laptops. All right, I'm teasing. Okay. Oh, Fran is watching. Okay, great. Hey, Fran, we're loving you and thinking about you. Okay, only Fran would do this from a hospital bed, okay? So we love you, sweetheart, and everybody's sending you their love, okay? Lots of messages with love for you, okay? All right, let me see what else I wanted to share with you a little bit about. I wanted to talk just a little bit also about the moment. So I just called it the virus update, but the world is wrestling now, as you're well aware, with opening, not opening. Even if New York announced tomorrow, great, doors are open. As you also know, you've probably thought about, people are not going to rush to sit elbow to elbow in a seminar room with 50 people. So from Synergy Education's point of view, we don't know exactly what this is all going to roll out looking like. We're not going anywhere, and we're 1,000,000% committed to Synergy, weathering this storm. But at the same time, we don't know what things are going to look like when this is over. Can we do the basic, but people sit, 5 feet apart or 6 feet apart? I really don't know. But the reason I wanted to bring that up also is I just want you to know we are having conversations all the time around what this might look like for us, could look like for us. We're going to err on the side of caution, is I guess my message to you. We're going to err on the side of making sure things are safe and solid and great. It's not a time to take risks. So I just wanted you to know, and people are making those decisions for themselves anyway. So it's not like you need me to say that from our point of view, but I just wanted to say it, that first and foremost is that in our concern. Okay, more than running, a basic or an advanced course. For those of you who have people who are registered currently for one of the upcoming programs, we are 1,000,000% committed that as soon as we can, we're going to have those ready to go. In fact, I'm going to be so nervous to walk up on Thursday in front of a basic. I feel like it's been like 100 years since I led a basic. So anyway, the time will come. You should come and watch and, make fun. So I wanted to just share with you about, that. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and type them for me. Anything you want to know about Synergy. If I don't get to it, during this live video, I'd be, of course, happy to respond to you. But I just wanted, if anybody has questions about the programs or anything to do with Synergy, and of course you can email me, so you don't need to use this medium if you want to. But yes, Carrie wants us to have purple masks. Okay, maybe we'll do. I thought it would be funny, like with a little Synergy swirl right across your nose. But anyway, I'm sure we'll come up with some ideas. Also, I wanted to remind everybody, a few weeks ago, I sent out an email about, if you are at a moment and willing and able to offer support to the Synergy community, please let me know. And loads of people did. And if you're somebody who needs support, and hardly anybody asked me about that. So I just wanted to remind you, if you need support, if you have any requests, please reach out. Okay, please let me know. We have such a beautiful community of people offering to support, to whatever, meals, whatever the thing is. So if you do need something, please, don't be shy about making requests. Okay. Again, obviously we want to make sure everybody's taken care of within our community. And this past week, we sent out the first edition of the Synergy Business Directory. So we've kind of, for the first time, I guess, begun to gather businesses that graduates are running, and there's loads of things, healthcare and jewelry and, therapy and coaching and working out. There's like loads of things that graduates obviously are doing. So, just when it's possible, let's support each other that way too. So, it's great to use people. And who else would you want to hire than a Synergy graduate anyway? So just be aware. And if you want to get into that directory, we're updating that every week. So just send me, a blurb about your business if you want to be included in that directory. And then the theme of this week was to harness the power of negativity, which is a weird way for me to talk. Normally I'd be, okay, let's talk about, as I said before, even when I said the word abundance earlier, I start, it's like a contrary message. Pardon me. But mindfulness and love and peace and all those great things. So harnessing the power of negativity, obviously everybody remembers above the line, below the line as a distinction. And we've really, there's a lot of below the line behaviors right now, and there's a lot of energy packed into some of those behaviors. So how do we translate that? That's what tonight's conversation, at least, is the beginnings of. And so I want to introduce you to our special guest tonight, and I'll bring her on in just a moment. But we're focusing currently a lot on SBA, not the Small Business Association. SBA, our SBA is Synergy Business Associates, which is our company that delivers our transformational brand of work inside of organizations. And, a lot of things are changing in the world as well. And so in the business world, Synergy Business Associates, we've really offered exclusively kind of 3-month leadership programs, structured a lot like LP is. And nobody's in the market for that right now. So and it's always something we wanted to do. We've talked about it, Yali and Angel and Monica and myself and Fran and other business leaders in the community. And so anyway, this has afforded us, which I'm really grateful for, the chance to create. And we are putting the finishing touches on a whole new suite of offerings that we're going to do online for organizations and businesses and nonprofits and, gatherings, formal gatherings of companies and organizations. So I have a very special young lady who I'm going to bring in, who is a Synergy graduate of the basic and the advanced course so far. And her name is Dr. Sandra Hartog. So let me bring Sandra in. So, and Sandra, welcome to Friday night.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll follow you anywhere because you called me young, so that works.
And let me just, so everybody is aware, Sandra is the global head of the assessment practice at BTS. And BTS is a global consulting firm that's focused on strategy execution and talent management. And Sandra's talked to us about BTS. It's a huge company. So we're thrilled. And just so happens that Sandra is dear friends with Fran. So coincidentally, Sandra, and this is how we've come to, connect with Sandra. So one of the things I mentioned before, Sandra was generous enough to spend some time with us so we could pick her brains about what's happening in the world of business right now in the world. So I thought I could do kind of an interviewee type of thing.
Sure.
And I've got 3 little questions that I'm going to ask Sandra just to share with us a little bit about her experience. So Sandra, welcome, obviously, it's such a weird experience to be.
It's great though. And this is the new way of the world. So so all good.
Yeah. No, great. So welcome. And let me just do one thing to get rid of this thing off the screen, Sandra. Give me 1 second because I want to get rid of this agenda off the screen. If I can do that. I'm sorry, everybody. And delete agenda.
Talking about the purple thing on the bottom?
Yes, because I want to put a different purple thing on the bottom, which is
all right.
You look very fancy. So Sandra, in your experience as a businesswoman, a professional, deep experience in the world of human beings, maybe, you could preface with a 30-second background on who you are a bit, but from your vantage point, what's happening inside of organizations right now as you're seeing it?
Yeah. So I'm an organizational psychologist, which means that I study everything that happens from the individual human perspective within an organization, whether it's how to hire the best people, how to train them, how to develop them, how to accelerate their development, et cetera, et cetera. So my focus really for the last 35 years has been studying human behavior in organizations. This is a fascinating time for us. And I actually have a group, I'm part of a group of professionals that we generally meet once a quarter to talk about what we're seeing in organizations and what the trends are. And because of everything that's going on, we've actually upped it to meet once every 2 weeks. And luckily, I just had one of those calls today. And what we're actually talking about is they're now referring to the pre-vaccine days and the post-vaccine days. What's going to happen? So now, the future is considered the post-vaccine. Everything that's happening now is considered pre-vaccine. We've been going on about 7 weeks now. It's really interesting. We are seeing some of the best in human behavior that we've ever seen. Collaboration, consideration, agile, fast moving, creativity, innovation, people, disregarding boundaries and barriers, and there's no more, well, that's not my job. It's, if it needs to get done, let's just all come together and do it. So we've witnessed some really interesting things. One of my colleagues said, in a way, it's a consultant's dream. It's stuff that we go in and we talk to organizations about, for years, and we try to get them to move and to change and to take on these behaviors. And here we've had this tipping point where within a week, everything is different. Yeah. So organizations are the best of times, but they're also the worst of times. As much as people have rallied together to do all the things that are important to do to, keep first responders safe and keep the medical profession going and work in pharma and whatnot, we're also finding people in situations that they've never been in before, stuck at home, multitasking, homeschooling, dealing perhaps with roommates or with family, and the stress of going outdoors and staying indoors and just everything happening together. So what we're also seeing is that it's starting to unravel around the edges. And it's really interesting. I'm part of a group where we've actually been surveying, they've been surveying organizations. They've got a data set of about 600,000 people right now. And what they found is the first couple of weeks, people have been very energized and engaged and coming together. But now we're seeing it start to pull apart, and really? People are fighting more and more stressed, asking for time off, etc. So it's, again, the best of times and the worst of times.
And, everybody is to some degree forced to try to cope on their own, in a sense, like, because we're physically isolated. As much as this is a mode of connection, the lack of physical connection, I think really brings maybe a challenge that we've never been familiar with before, which maybe we'll be able to see in hindsight. But so I want to put you on the spot, Sandra, which because I want to talk about me. So
okay.
Nuno, we always refer to Nuno when we talking about me. So I want to talk, because I know you've been, privy to our journey in the last couple of weeks of what we're creating with Synergy Business and the different offerings and pressure points that we're looking to hit, obviously in response to what's happening, and some of which you just shared. From your experience, and obviously everybody, it's not scripted, but so I'm going to put you on the spot in that sense. Like, what would you say as an individual who's been through Synergy's, core programs, what would you say has been unique as you see it, like an application to an organization? You're a psychologist, all about the human being. So what's different, or what's additive maybe, or different, unique, et cetera, about Synergy from your point of view?
Yeah, it's an excellent question, because I found myself thinking about that in basic and then coming back for advanced and, applying it even more. So I've been designing training programs for decades, not young, over 35 years. And the things that I experienced at Synergy, I turned around and brought back to work. And not just the learnings, but I also mean the techniques, the way that you transform people in, it's experiential learning, but it takes it to a level that is hard to disassociate yourself from, right? So if you are there, hopefully you are in it 100%, but it drives to a level of understanding and confrontation almost, that I think normal training programs within organizations, even if they say they're experiential, don't get to. You take it to a level that makes it much more meaningful. What I'd also say is you deal with the way, a lot of personal insight and understanding about why we do what we do, but also why we do what we do in reaction to others. And I think that that's something that can often be neglected in formal organizational type training, right? So there's a lot of the, how do we deal with other people? What are the stories that we tell? Are we above or below the line? For me, the red black game was completely in my face and upsetting in a really good way, right? But I do believe that much of what we do in synergy, it gets rid of all the sugarcoating, and it helps people to transform and carry those messages forward when they go back to work. And what I've been actually spending a lot of time thinking about is work groups, entire teams that might have the great opportunity to go through a synergy experience, whether it's basic or advanced, and what that would do in terms of their productivity, their collaboration, their ability to create almost a shorthand in how they deal with each other in ways that they couldn't do without synergy. So it's pretty instrumental, and again, goes below the surface. It's transformational. I don't know, and not that I'm trying to wax on too much about it, but I have to say, again, I've seen some of the best training programs that the corporations have to offer, and synergy just made me open up my eyes. So
thank you. Okay, thank you. And we could talk. I'm sorry, what?
A little adulation there, a little, oh, good.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's leadership means something different now too, or rather, there are nuances, and even more than nuances, that people are having to confront right now. Exactly as you said, even if you're a leader in an organization, some of your folks are fraying around the edges, as you referenced before. So that's a challenge. And then I know we only have a few minutes left with you, Sandra. What did you gain personally that's made a difference in your business life? I mean, you kind of touched on it as you answered the second question. Is there anything else that you would add?
Yeah. So, to be a little revealing, when I came into Synergy, I was feeling kind of stuck in my career and in all the things that I've done. And I've had a fine, career. But I was feeling kind of stuck and feeling like I wanted to exit. And a lot of the feedback I was getting internally, but also from the coaches in the room was, and I remember being resentful of this in the beginning, but why are you living such a small life? Why are you, what's wrong with you? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, how could you say I'm living a small life? I took that to heart and thought about it for a long time, and came back to work and realized I wasn't giving my best, and I wasn't playing a big game, and I wasn't doing all the things that I needed to do. And it was a real wake-up call for me in a way that I don't think any of my peers at work or colleagues in other organizations ever would have been able to say to me or recognize in the time. So that was critically important. I think another thing that was really important for me was kind of the just, I can talk about it as, one of the distinctions and above the line or below the line, but really for me, it was a lot about the stories I had been telling myself, and the context that I was living in was of my creation and not necessarily reality. And that again was something that I was able to bring back to work. And just, for whatever it's worth, I've actually used, so I have a team of 37 across the globe, and I've used a lot of the things that I've learned in the language, not the language per se, because, I don't want to give too much away in case they come to Synergy, but I've actually used a lot of the things I've learned with my team. Yeah. And I actually think we're a better team because of it as well. So
fabulous.
It was incredible. For me, it was incredibly transformational.
Fabulous. Thank you. Thank you. Go. Well, thank you.
Absolutely. And, I think we should all do it.
And thank you. And I know you have to leave, and it's an important day for you. So thank you for taking the time to be with us on this important day and sharing your experience as, a wise businesswoman.
Yeah, not young or old. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And if I can come back at any time, or if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out.
Thank you so much, Sandra.
All right.
All right. Have
care
a great
now.
weekend. Thank
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. And everybody, I'll just wrap up because I went a little longer, but I wanted to, really pick Sandra's brains just a tiny bit and share with you, because one of the things that's also happening is Monica. I want you to know Monica is making calls through all the LPs, okay, 59, 60, all the way down to LP1. And part of why Monica's doing that is to share with you, for those of you who are interested, of course, what Synergy Business Associates is about and what's happening in the world today with Synergy Business. So, and the new offerings are virtual online offerings, which I'm really excited about, because they hit the notes of Synergy in a way we've never done it before, like in a 2.5 hour thing. So I'm really excited about it. And you know what? We've been practicing, so to speak, online, and I'm really confident about it too. So I'm excited to share that with everybody. So also, Yali Harari is our head person at Synergy Business. So if you have any questions, if you want more information, please email Yali, or you could email me. And our website for the corporate work is synergybusinessinc.com. So kind of an obnoxious web address, but we fashioned it after synergyeducationinc.com. So it's synergybusinessinc.com. So, all right, I wanted to share that with you. I'm excited. This coming week, we're going to share a little bit about Synergy Youth Empowerment and just keep you up to date on what's happening there. And so I just want to say once again, our love to everyone. Fran, we love you. Okay, we're sending you our love and wishes to get out of there fast. And everybody, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and have a beautiful weekend. And I look forward to seeing you soon. All right, so take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.